Hi everyone and welcome to the MakerStack channel. Today we're going to be looking at Glide, which is rapidly becoming one of the most popular no-code tools out there and is a great way to get started. They've been busy adding some new features and we'll be taking a look to see how they could help you with your no-coding projects.
If you haven't heard of Glide before, it's essentially a tool to build apps using Google Sheets as the database. So whereas some no-code tools just help you with a specific part of the set of basic components or stack that you need for any app or website, the front end, the back end, or integrating the two, Glide combines everything in one, and this is one of the reasons it has become so popular. As long as you understand the basics of Google Sheets, it's super easy to get started. Now, we'll do a more in-depth beginner's guide in another video, but today we're looking at the latest features to have been added. Glide team are great for constantly updating the product and feature set. So yeah, the first feature I wanted to show you is the Google sign-in feature. And here I'm just using a template app design which was provided by Glide. It's a simple CRM template. And what I can show you now, if we click on the settings tab over here and then over to the top right hand corner in the privacy tab, that's where we have our sign-in options, and we can choose how people have access to the app. At the moment, it's set to public with email, but you can also have it set to public, where anybody with the link can have access, or password, where people have to enter a password, obviously. And on the Pro version, you've got the option to have an email whitelist, which would give companies, if they're looking to have an internal app, such as this one could be a particularly good example of, an email whitelist, you can just set your own company's email as anybody with that email address can have access, but nobody else. But what we're looking at today is the new Google sign-in feature, which is available on the public with email and the email whitelist options. And here it is. You are now able to allow people to sign in with the Google account. Now, a couple of caveats with this. It only works on public Pro apps and also private org apps. So bear that in mind. And also, due to the way that Google implements third-party sign-in, your users will see that they are using a Glide app, as you can see from here. Now, the next new feature is custom date and time formatting. Now, why is this a problem? So often you might have in your Google Sheets a range of dates and times that have perhaps been bulk imported from another data set, and they come through in a strange format, and I've taken the liberty of just using this Google Sheet that is used for the simple CRM template. And you can see here that I've just added in some dates in a very strange format, which isn't particularly helpful if we want to use those within the Glide app. Now, you could go through and edit these fields and do that in Google Sheets, but that can be a bit fiddly, and sometimes you might want to just not go into the Google Sheets. You might not have permission to go into the particular sheet, for example. So now you can do this within Glide itself. So if we go into Benita Bulgan here, and we can see that her start date is showing as 12th of November 1978 instead of what it's shown on the original Google Sheets as November/12/1978 with no time, but a time of 0 or midnight shown. And how we do that is like this. So we need to go to the data, the actual data, the sheet, the Glide sheet that has been imported from the Google Sheets. And over here in the last column, we can see the started column. And click on the little down arrow there. hit edit, and then we're into the ability to edit the display. And we can choose to display date and time, date only or time only. I've chosen date only, and the date format is either short, which displays in this format, or medium, which would display it like this, or long, which would display it in a slightly longer format using the actual day name and the full month format. So let's put it to short for now, and we can see how that looks within the app. So now it's showing in this format here. Sometimes I just prefer to show the actual month and use that medium format there so that people don't get confused between US and non-US style dates. But that is it. That's custom date and time formatting. Now let's stick with Bonita for the final new feature I wanted to show you today, which is something called the basic table component, which doesn't sound very exciting, but here's what it allows you to do. So normally you would need to add in a new component for each entry here that we have, for example, for email and for phone. And we've used components because we need to have this interactivity here in terms of sending an email or chatting or calling somebody from your phone. So those are components that are actually interactive. So what you could do if you just had a long list of data to display, rather than having it display as separate components, you can now add a basic table, and that can be done by adding a component. So we go into component up here, and now you see this basic table that's been added, a table displaying rows of values. Pretty straightforward. And we click on add, and then we get options here. So you can give the table a label if you wish. You do that here, and then we come to the rows that we can add, and we literally just add a load of rows, which I'm going to do here, and you can see them adding to the app, and then you can configure them by the data set that you've already put in place on the sheet. So for example, we might want to display the title, we might wish to display something like when she started, we might wish to display the company name, and so on and so on.
So guys, that was my What's New with Glide as part of a weekly series on the channel. Lots more to come, so if you want to see those, please do hit subscribe, hit like if you enjoyed it, add comments on your thoughts as well on these new features. It'd honestly be great to hear those. Anyway guys, thanks so much for stopping by today. Keep no coding, and I'll see you very soon.